The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Catherine. I'll be your webinar facilitator today. I'd like to welcome everyone to this step into the new year with a new plan to increase your sales. To get a new result, you must have a plan webinar. As a brief reminder, all lines are currently on mute to prevent background noise. If you have any questions during the presentation, go ahead and type them into your chat box. We'll be happy to answer at the end of the webinar. Joining us this afternoon, it's my pleasure to welcome Kathy Brandon, VP of Operations with CI Web Group. CI Web Group is one of our preferred vendors, helping dealers be more successful out in their own business. Without further ado, Kathy, you may now begin the webinar.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that is top of mind for every business owner, and it is what strategies in 2018 can you focus on inside your digital marketing that actually creates leads and closes sales. And I'm going to stay very focused on just those items. I know you guys are already thinking about it. Most of the dealers and everyone who's on this webinar, we know that you already have websites. We know that you're already on top of your digital marketing game. So the value we thought that we could bring to you in the short amount of time we have together is exactly how you want to prioritize the digital marketing projects for 2018 that literally create leads and give you the opportunity to close business. So as Jennifer always says, we're also going to focus on doing the right things in the right order at the right time. And so I'm going to talk to you today about what is beyond the website. And I'm going to gloss over these areas because I know a lot of you guys are already on top of your game. So you already have positive thinking habits where you're truly making decisions based on the results that you can see and the results that your partners can bring to you. And so I know your minds are already shifted into that. It's a new year. Everything's open to us. We also I want to remind you of a couple of things that you already know, but it is the beginning of the year. And we want to always be reminded of the 4 top ways we can stay focused on positive results. We need to make sure that results overrule any excuses that are on the table for not stepping into the smartest way to gain qualified leads and close business. Every decision factor has to be around gaining leads and qualifying leads and closing business. You want to get comfortable being uncomfortable. If you are a successful business owner, you know this. Being uncomfortable is your litmus test of whether your business is growing. And so just as well as I know, being uncomfortable is absolutely the way to live your life. You have to show up, you have to suit up, you have to participate. This is a Jennifer Bagley statement. I've heard her say it for 10 years, and I love it. When I hear it, when it scrolls across my Facebook, it makes me sit up a little straighter. We know as successful business owners that we don't have the luxury of not showing up every day. If we don't show up every day, we don't have that lead. If we don't show up every day, we can't close that business no matter how brilliant our team is. And I'm going to teach you about the technology that you need to focus on this year to make sure that you can show up, suit up, and participate, and your digital marketing does as well. You want to have some patience, especially with your digital marketing, because digital marketing moves so fast that you can't put down a rule today and in 6 months still follow that same rule. And so you're going to be uncomfortable, but you're going to have to exercise patience. That's a tricky walk for any leader. And you absolutely want to be progress minded. And so you want to push back with questions, with qualifiers to all your partners this year. How is this driving leads into my business? Can you measure it? If you cannot measure it, then we need to have a deeper conversation. Can this be tied to closed sales? Now, I want to talk about negative thinking, and I'm going to gloss over this because I think if you're a successful business owner, you're on top of this. Delayed launch start. That's the #1 negative thought process. So here's the scoop on that. You all know it. The longer you wait, the further behind you get. Decision making. Every single leader on this call today needs to look at who you are holding responsible for making decisions for your company. and the complications that come from hiring friends, family, and fools versus people you don't know who are truly qualified. Oh, I'm sorry. Lack of participation. There's no vendor that can build you a model in your business, whether it's digital marketing or anything else, where you don't participate. That's like you going out to your customer's home and you making the decision on where that unit's going to be. They have to participate. You do too. Unreal expectations, especially in digital marketing. There is no silver bullet. There is absolutely no silver bullet, and especially now with digital marketing, there is a formula, there is a sequence, and there is a very masterful strategy that you have to employ. Once you are beyond the website, it becomes a game about SEO, feeding the Google dragon, and how effective your web design is and your advertising campaigns that marry all of this together. So let's get started on the good stuff. There are a couple of stats I want you to think about and I want you to take in. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I just want you to pay attention to the numbers. 30% of your consumers are going to be browsing on screenless devices. Screenless. That's a huge shift in how people live. 50% of the people who want to do business with you are going to be speaking into their devices. And what are they going to be speaking? AC repair near me. They're not going to say AC repair comfort systems. They're not going to say AC repair in your company name. It's absolutely not going to happen by a consumer. Even if they've used you before, they're still going to do a search on near me. It's the easiest vocal search you can give Google that gives a consumer what they want. And so when you hear that from somebody like me, you want to think cities, services, cities, services. And I'll go into that in a minute. Your website structure is beyond making your website look pretty. It's beyond making your website look attractive. That's step one. So once you have a stable website, it's about making sure that your template is updated on a regular basis. You need to have a refresh on your website and make sure that the template you're operating off of every 2 years is updated, because Google changes their rules on a regular basis. So if your images and your contents are sitting inside a template of any capacity, it has to be updated just like your software, just like anything else in your universe. And so if you are not budgeting to have your website updated every 2 years, you absolutely want to. And let me tell you how that ties into leads and closing business. If your website, if your template behind your website is outdated, you're not going to get hickeyed or penalized by Google. Your site will simply not rank as quick. And you're not going to notice it until 6 months to a year after the fact. And what you're going to think as a business owner is, oh my gosh, my website's not performing. Oh my gosh, I made a mistake a year ago. Oh my gosh, I made a mistake 2 years ago. No, you are absolutely making the mistake today, right now in this minute, because leads generated from your website, how it happens is you're following the Google rules. If you're not updating your stuff, you're not following the Google rules. It's as simple as that. But that one, as far as website structure, that'll hurt you really, really big, and you're not going to catch it right away. I'm going to talk to you about some things that you can do that are very quick and you can look at results. But your website structure should be one of the highest priorities in your marketing budget. Every 2 years, update that thing. Content. Since you guys are pretty much beyond your website, you know the conversation about content. I'm not going to repeat what you've already heard Jennifer or other digital marketers tell you, but I am going to reiterate, excuse me, I'm sorry. Google is a dragon that needs to eat, and everybody knows that. But here's how tricky it gets. Google this year doesn't just want you to tell it, what do you want to sell? Where do you want to sell? Google wants you to tell it, how is your consumer going to search? How is your consumer going to use it? What is your consumer going to use it for? What questions do they ask when buying it? What research will they do to choose it? What are they saying about it? And here's the most important thing. And I'm sure you guys are already doing this, but I want you to remember, right? I'm here to just jog your memory. If you are not looking at your competition every single month as a part of your month-end bookkeeping business wrap-up for the month, you are missing a huge way for you to stay in front of them. Because every single day, your competition is being talked to by a digital marketing somebody. And so they're getting all this information, and at any time they could say yes when you say wait. And the Google game right now is who gets to it first wins. And so what you want to make sure that you're doing, and I'm sure you guys are already, is every single month add it into your month-end closing process. And if you don't do it, give it to somebody. Give it to that bookkeeper that's anal retentive in your office, somebody who is very detailed, because they will absolutely go out there and give you some great information about your competition. I want to talk to you about media. There's a difference. And most of you guys already know this, so I'm only gonna try to touch on the pieces that you may not be prioritizing as high as maybe you were before this conversation. So as you know, paid media is traditional advertising, print television, radio display. Owned media is like your corporate website, campaign, microsite, blog, brand community, Facebook fan page, and a mobile app. Earned media, which is ranked so much higher on Google, are referrals, Facebook comments, Twitter, Vine, blogs, forums, review sites. Now, what I mean by that earned media is the simple fact Google qualifies earned media as one of the highest ranking types of content, because Google, the Google Dragon, has to prioritize all these different pieces of media. So Google is going to take the media and rank it higher if it has more than one person saying it's awesome. So what you want to do is you want to start having that conversation right now with your partnerships. You want to look at what are you doing to create engagement, get referrals, get your referrals on your get your referral partners on your website. Get some engagement with your Facebook. If Facebook is a social media platform, Instagram is becoming incredibly powerful for the HVAC industry. On-page SEO. You guys aren't going to see this. You guys know what this is because everybody talks to you about it. Anybody who needs to know more information about SEO, please feel free to reach out to us. That's why we're here. We're here to educate you. What I want to talk to you about SEO is at the end of the day, SEO is the foundation of your lead generation machine. Because every single page has to have a certain criteria of words, images, the way it's written. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Now, if you're a good digital marketer, you can sit down with a business owner and help them keep it simple. But there is so much work that has to go behind the scenes on a regular basis with your website to make sure that it's always in Google compliance, every single page. And so what I want you to understand about on-page SEO is it's your long-term investment for your business. It's your retirement. And so you want to make sure that every single month, going back to your month-end closing. Every single month as part of your bookkeeping or as part of your financial books closing process, you want to go through your website metrics. Because what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to see the phrases that are performing on page 1. Are those phrases what you want to sell during that time of year? That's what creates leads. If your number one phrases are what your consumer wants to buy, and that goes in line with what you want to sell, you are absolutely profitable. You are paying for your digital marketing. You have an outstanding lead funnel. And if your internal team is great at closing deals, you have no problems. But on-page SEO, a lot of people, and I know you guys probably aren't like this, but there may be a few new business owners here. On-page SEO is probably the most boring part of digital marketing, but it is so vital to the long-term lead generation of your business that it's important for you to understand what it is and not ignore it. Local listings. This is your bread and butter of your business. If you are not on top of your local listings, you are absolutely missing leads and opportunities for sales. And the reason for it, we all know. Everybody goes to Google for everything. It's a standing joke in my house. My kids will say something, and I'm like, did you search Google? Because I don't know if that's valid. And we all laugh about it, but it is the reality of where we live. So when we're talking about local listings, how I want you to think about local listings, and that's why the numbers are up here. Local listings are your way to truly measure how people are accessing you. How people are accessing you, every single business owner knows that equals leads in closed business. Access equals leads. Leads equal closed business. So here's how it works. You need to increase your views, clicks, and calls through effective local listings marketing strategies. So Google utilizes the local listings as a verification for your company. So if you have 2 Google business listings and you have one that you can't really access, but it's taking so long because sometimes it's hard to get those resolved, but you have one that's really doing great, in 2018, you need to focus on that one that's confusing and not clear. Because you're not getting penalized by Google, but you're not reaping the benefits of the machine that Google can be for the lead generation in your business. And you have access to your consumer through these listings. Because a consumer goes to Google for everything. And if you're not there, and if you're not there in a very concise, organized, consistent manner, you're going to miss out on your consumer, because a consumer is going to give you 30 seconds to show up being consistent, and then they're going to click away from you because you're too confusing. And you know that as a business owner. I'm just here to remind you and point you toward the things to prioritize in 2018. Social influence. And if I could see you, I would probably see half the room roll their eyes about social influence. We all know this is true. But even the most successful business owner, most of us don't want to think about social. I want to break it down to you to what you need to focus on with social in 2018. Social is beyond just being a brand and being on Facebook. As I said before, if you guys are not thinking about Instagram, you need to. I'm watching a lot of success with Instagram in the HVAC industry. There's so much of a story that you can put on Instagram. So what needs to happen with social media this year? If you already have a brand, you already have a Facebook page, whether people are truly engaging with you on your Facebook page, if you have one and you're posting on a regular basis, you're past step 1. So this year is about 2 things: lead generation and engagement. Because remember what we were talking about before, Google wants you to be referred by somebody else. Google wants to hear you're awesome from somebody other than you. Well, Google considers your website you, Google Business Listings you, but they consider Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google Plus as quote unquote somebody else. And so having a Facebook fan page is awesome, but now we have to think about advertising. Are you running Facebook ads? Facebook ads, you have a start and a stop, you have a lower budget. It can be truly the way to go if you want to drive leads quickly in a controlled environment that you can measure deeply. Same thing for Instagram. Any of these social platforms, you can run a $200 campaign, a $500 campaign, and you can see within a month if you're getting leads. Whereas you do some of the longer term campaigns and you're going to spend $500, $1,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month and not know if it's working for 3 to 4 months. That's a lot of cash outlay for any business. And so social is often, and it was increasing in popularity in 2017. It is absolutely the way to go for 2018. If you don't want to think about it, you need to think about it, because you're missing leads if you're not there running campaigns. If you're not there if you do not have a presence and you've still avoided having a presence, you don't have to spend a year building a presence. You can pop up a Facebook business page and you can start running campaigns and do it all at the same time. And that's the good news about social that has changed. You used to have to do it in a sequence. Now, if you're not on social, you can pop up, start running campaigns, and it's beautiful. And so the social game is a little bit more fun than the Google game. The Google game's a long-term play. The social game is a short-term play that can have huge benefits. Reviews. I know you guys have heard already what I'm about to say. I'm going to say it again. If you do not have a 4.5 or above on Google right now, reviews and proof of trust have to be one of the number 3 strategies in your entire marketing side of your business. Has to be. And it absolutely needs to be at least a number 2 in the overall structure of how you're working 2018. Every single department. Typically, if you have something lower than 4.5, there are some other issues going on. Either there are operational issues, either there are staffing issues, either, there are customers that have flamed you. There are strategies to get your reviews up to 4.5. Very specific strategies that don't take forever. But most businesses do not have reviews in the top 1 or top 2 of priority. As a consumer, I am not going to call somebody that has a review for less than 4.5 if I do a search on Google for whatever near me. I'm going to pick the highest review. I'm looking for the stars every time. And then I go check out if they're right for me. And so I just wanted to help you guys prioritize some of this other stuff. Now, in closing, 2018 is a whole new game. It's a new game for digital marketing. It's a new game for offline marketing. And it's a brand new game for every single person. Like I said, most interaction with technology is going screenless. So just think about that for a minute in our universe, much less in our businesses. Think about that tech that's going to have to learn how to use a device that has no screen. That's a huge social shift. We're taking traffic from, social and reviews and local listings, and it absolutely has an impact on their search rankings, as well as your social profiles. It's okay, and I want to release you from the pressure of understanding search engine optimization. believe it or not, technology has actually caught up with you and you're in a very sweet place because search engine optimization isn't the only game for your website and for digital marketing. It's a powerful game, but once you have that down and you have the basics down, you can play in the most fun place with technology that we have ever been in. You know, before we had to think about websites and we had to think about search engine optimization, and how boring is that? Today, once you get past that basic, you can talk about short Facebook campaigns. You can talk about, okay, if you're sending that mailer out, well, let's go ahead and do a companion promotion online. Because then you're getting more traction for that mailer. You can see which one is working, right? Is that mailer working, or can you do a campaign online that's going to net you the exact same leads? Because how many people are going to their mailbox and how many people are going to Google? And so the good news is the game has changed. It's a lot more fun. You can absolutely tie every single piece of digital marketing to leads and close sales. But you have to prioritize what you're doing and what you're thinking about. I want to thank everybody so much for being on this webinar and just allowing me to get to know you and get to be with you today. We are going to open it up for questions, and I do want to invite you guys to absolutely go out to our website. It's ciwebgroup.com. We do a business evaluation, and I absolutely give you the opportunity to take advantage of that. So you can go to ciwebgroup.com/evaluation and fill out the little form, and we will go through and we'll do an evaluation of your entire digital footprint.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
My name is.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
You're
No. I was just going to say my name. Remind them of my name. That's it. Thank you.
Gotcha. Kathy Brandon. So just a couple quick reminders. If you have any questions, use your chat box. We'll be happy to answer your questions. You will receive a follow-up email with a link to the recording a little bit later today. Feel free to refer back to that or share it with someone who might be interested. It'll also be posted out to Daikin University if you need any assistance locating recordings out in Daikin U. There's a whole CI Web Group library out there. Let me know. You can always reach out to me at daikinwebinars@daikincomfort.com, and I will be very happy to assist you in locating those recordings. Also, there is a post-webinar survey, so definitely feel free to let us know how we did. We do always appreciate your feedback and look forward to hearing what you have to say. And with that, I do not have any questions waiting. Anything you'd like to say in closing today?
No, I just want to thank everybody for being here today, and thank you for the opportunity to be with you and share with you.
So, well, we thank you so much. Enjoyed talking to you today, Kathy, and for everyone who joined us, whether you're here live now or later on the recording, we do appreciate your taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. Hope you found it worthwhile, and we look forward to talking to you on the next webinar. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.